Give me a minute. Right. So we have started the recording. So people, those who joining later, you can catch whatever you missed, and those who not join today, right? Those who are unable to join today, you can come and access this video or the recorded clip for another 20 days, right? Okay. Here, these are the major tools that you can use during the session, right? So these are the major tools that you can use during the session, right? And maybe you are aware about these icons before, that you know about these icons before. Can some volunteers unmute and say the order of this icon? I mean, the first is representing what is the software.
Microsoft Teams.
Sorry.
Microsoft Teams.
Microsoft Teams. Yes. Yes. And what about the next one? Outlook. Okay. And then
Word.
Microsoft Office
Word.
MS
Word.
Word. And then
Excel.
Microsoft
Excel.
Office Excel.
Microsoft Excel, and finally
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint. Okay. Now, if I ask you the purpose of using these, will you be able to say? What is the purpose that you think we use in MS Teams?
Making a presentation.
MS Teams?
Conducting meetings, team and
Conduct
organize.
classes like
In
meetings and
meetings.
stuff.
Okay. So maybe I didn't hear anything because many of them talking at once. Okay. Conducting online sessions, correct? Yes, right. So we can schedule sessions and we can conduct online sessions, and we can track students' attendance, and we can ask students to submit their assignments to this MS Teams. And it is not standalone software, right? So since there are many applications created by Microsoft, what they did is they merged, right, these softwares capable of working collaboratively, right? So all the applications that most of the applications that Microsoft designed are connected together, right? So through MS Teams there are many applications connected, right? So including calendar and including assignment module, and we have something called quiz, or we can say forms, right? So where we can give you exams, online exams, through creating MCQ, right? So we will be giving you some features to select, right? So you know what MCQ is, right? So we can conduct exam through this what do you call MS Teams portal, or directly we can create a quiz and deliver to you. That is also possible, right? So through this MS Team, the main goal to use the MS Team, let me to deliver sessions online, and to monitor the activities of students, right? And Outlook is a very powerful tool nowadays, right? So Outlook is a very powerful tool which we use for what? Outlook என்னது யூஸ் பண்றது? Outlook எங்க மாறுது யூஸ் பண்றது? அந்த கேம் யா
For a
காணுக்குள்ள.
mail Outlook.
And then
Yes.
receive emails.
Yeah, send and receive emails. What else? Any other descriptions that people willing to say? Yes, send and receive emails. What are the other free email service providers that we have? like Outlook?
Gmail,
Gmail.
Hotmail,
Hotmail is from where? From what is the organization Hotmail is from?
Yahoo,
And we have Yahoo Mail, yes. Right. So we'll see the way of using Hotmail, right? And Hotmail is well known for spam filtration, and there are many features enabled, right? So if you those who are using Yahoo Mail, you will see there are many emails will be generated. The port of Yahoo is fully open, so there are no powerful restrictions, right? So when it's come to Outlook, they handling these things properly, right? So it is kind of secured, right? Okay, and we have what is this? MS Word, right? What is the purpose?
word processing,
Word processing. So what kind of thing that you can do using MS Word?
Create text
text,
documents.
text,
Yes, text-based document,
create
yes.
text, translate text,
Translate text, yes. Anything
present it,
else? Presentations, or we can say presentation there is a unique tool, or else we can say create reports, create your assignments, and we can create application forms, letters, and uh, all kind of documents, as you all said, right? So we're going to see these things while we learning. We're going to
Detect
see these things.
chemical.
Yes, right. And maybe you are aware about this application, and can we say the purpose? What do you think that we can do using Excel? Using Excel, we can, I mean, you're not giving me the
Manage
answers in the chat.
we
Okay.
can
So
calculate,
maybe
create spreadsheets,
spreadsheets, yes. Right.
manage your account.
Managing the account. And can you give me a minute? There are people struggling to join from diploma in teaching. Right. So yes, as you all said, managing accounts, right? So using Excel, there are many features enabled to uh, to work with formulas, to work with numbers, right? So you know, right? What are the features that we need to manage accounts, right? And if I want to list out from the beginning, you will be learning the way of formatting, and you will be learning the way of entering data and the basic formula, and sorting. Sorting means changing the order. Filtering means selecting specific values, and charts, right? Changing the numbers into graphic, right? So without presenting with only number, if you can present it using what do you call graphs, charts, right, graphics, that will be more clear, right? So the decision making will be much easier than going through with the numbers deeply one by one, right? So that is the purpose of Excel, and that is not the way to explain. I will be explaining deeply, not today, in future sessions, right? So those who registered for IT program, right? And the next thing that we're going to learn is PowerPoint, right? So the PowerPoint is one of the best tool to create presentations. Even the presentation that I created now, as you all can see, is PowerPoint, right? So as you can see, the presentation that I created now is also using PowerPoint, right? So you will be learning the way of creating presentations, and there are many features enabled to work, right? To work with the tool, right? So you can effectively create a presentation the way that you expecting to deliver, right? Whatever ways that you expecting to deliver, you can model it accordingly, right? Okay, and I have to show you the basics of the operating systems, right? So without knowing the way of using the operating system, we can't learn the way of using the applications, right? So there is order, right? First I have to teach you the way of using OS, right? Inside OS, or we can say on top of OS, only other applications are running, right? Even if I want to teach you MS Teams, if you have no idea of the way of using laptop or computer, right? So no point, right? And if you join today using your laptop, that means you know the basics, right? And there are people maybe joined using other devices, right? So for them, I'll give you a quick introduction about the basics of OS, operating system, and the desktop. What are the components that we have in the desktop, and what do you mean by folders? And no need this today, right? I thought of giving you an introduction about using CMD, right? Command prompt, where you can deal with the similar actions whatever you're doing you using your mouse. We can do it by using commands, right? But I don't think that is directly relevant to the subject today. So I'm going to take this and we'll do it later, right? And there is a small window called run, right? So using that run, there are many things that we can achieve from opening a software, right? So if you know the correct set of code, or we can say the name that the system captured, right? So I will show you the way of finding that name. If you type that name, any softwares can be opened, right? So we're going to see that too. Okay, so now after typing the username and password, right? So you will, in Windows, you have to select the username and they'll ask you to type the password if you have any password enabled, right? So after typing the password, you will be taken to this place, and you will be taken to this place. We call this as a desktop. We call this as a desktop, right? In the desktop, I'm using a different Windows version, right? So I'm using Windows 10. Likewise, there are many Windows versions, right? Depending on the version, there'll be slight difference, right? There'll be slight difference, right? In this version, right? And in every version, you will find the desktop, right? Some this start panel and the folder structure, this graphic will be slightly different, right? So all what you can do in Windows 7 can be done in Windows 10. So all what we doing today in here can be even do it using your Windows 7, right? The older version, right? So these are basics which is enabled in all the versions, right? So here you can see there is a desktop, and in the desktop you can see there are many uh, icons, right? So we call it as a icons, right? And we call these things as a folder, right? So here this icon is representing a software, right? So this specific icon is representing a software, right? So the way of calling the software, right? So there are many ways to call that those softwares. One, by double clicking the shortcut, or we can say icons, right? So by double click this, you can open any softwares. Sorry, the specific software, right? So by double clicking the icon of the specific software, you can open the software, right? Or else, if you want to open in another way, you have to go and find it in start menu, right? For example, you turned on your PC to create a document, right? You have turned on your PC to type a letter, maybe, right? You're going to type a letter for someone, right? So if you want to type a letter, what is the I mean, which is the most suitable software to do that?
MS Word.
MS Word, right? So can we type letters using MS Excel?
No.
No. No, that is not the purpose, right? Okay, so here, if you click in the start button, you will be taken to this place. Here you can see there is a huge list of softwares. Finding MS Word in here is not easy, right? Since we have many softwares installed, right? So what is the easiest way to find it?
The search
Search.
bar.
Yes, right. So you're going to type Word, right, directly. If it is Windows 10, you're going to click here and type without selecting anywhere. You're going to simply type WORD, where it will give you the complete list of softwares which is starting with Word. For example, if I type only W, it will get you the software list which is starting with W. If I just say A, you can see all the menus that starting with A will be listed. And if I say S, all what they have starting with S, there are around 5 applications listed. Okay. So that's easy, right? Rather than going inside and finding the specific software, right? Or else, if you are not happy with the way that I showed you, even you can scroll it and find. Here you can see Microsoft Office tools, or you will find something called Microsoft Office, and inside that you will see that. Can you show me where it is? These about master collection, where you will find all Photoshop, Illustrator, and other Adobe softwares. And here Microsoft tools, and you will see something called it is published outside, maybe. Yes, it is not grouped here. Correct, right? It is not grouped. Windows. Okay, okay, right. So if it is grouped, as I showed you in the Adobe collection, you will find it as a folder, or maybe we call whatever we have with the drop down menu, whatever we have with the drop down symbol, it is grouped together, right? So the word is not grouped, since the software applications are enabled, exposed outside. Right, here you can see Excel and the other softwares also listed outside as a separate icon, right? So which is not grouped, right? In other Windows versions, or in other in some PCs, you will see these things will be grouped according to the package, right? So this specific Microsoft Word is coming from a package called Microsoft Office, right? So it is coming from a package called Microsoft Office, right? So in sometimes you will find Microsoft Office as a group, and if you open that drop down menu, you will find all the softwares belongs to that Office package, right? Okay. So likewise, the each and every icon is representing a different software, right? So you can double click this, or you can go and find it there, right? Or else, as I already showed you, we have a menu called run, right? So you can even take it by pressing start and type RUN. You will be taken, or you will be getting this kind of small window, right? So or else, there is a shortcut key in the keyboard. You have to hold Windows key, where if you press, the start menu is popping up, That key only we calling it as Windows key. By holding Windows key, you're going to press R. By holding Windows key, you're going to press R, right? Let me show you in the on-screen keyboard, so that people they'll know what exactly I'm talking about. So this is the key that I'm saying, right? So by holding Windows key, you're going to press R, right? So that is how we open run, right? So in run, in this small window, if you know the word, if you know the word to open the software, right? So you can type that, and the software can be opened in that way. Like for example, for we, or else we calling it as a run command, right? If you know the specific software run command, by typing that run command inside this run small window, by pressing OK, the software can be opened. Right? For example, uh, if I type win word, if I type win word, if I click OK, what do you think will be the software that you're going to get?
Software
Anyone try
Word.
to?
Microsoft Word.
Microsoft Word, exactly. Right? So see here, if I click OK, you'll get, yes, Microsoft Word. Right? So that is also another way of opening the software. Right? So you can double click the icon, or you can go and find it in the start menu, or you can press Windows R and type the run command. So where can we see that run command? Right? So if you starting, if you are interested in opening the software using run command, we have to know that command first, right? So open the software manually for the first time, right? Right click in the task, minimize it without closing, minimize it. Right click in the taskbar, we call this as a taskbar, and go to task manager, right? So here you can see all applications process. You have to see, let me check and let you know, or else I'll get you another way of finding this. Right. So it's not easy like MS, Windows 7. So what you want to do is go to Task Manager. If it is hard, just leave it. It is not must. Right. So go to Task Manager. You can find there's a huge list. Right. There's a huge list, and here you can see uh, the overall picture, the overall performance sheet. Right. So overall process. Right. So how much memory each software is utilized now at the moment? How much CPU usage, the processor usage utilized for each software at the moment now? And you know what do you mean by memory? RAM, right? So how much RAM allocated for Microsoft Teams? How much RAM allocated for this desktop window manager, that which is a supportive software from operating system, right? So likewise in this task manager, you can see the complete detail, the backend process of this machine or laptop. I'm using a laptop now, so the backend process of the computer. It can be a laptop, even in desktops you will find this. In Windows you will find in this way. In Apple there is a different way to check, but in all the operating system we have this, right? So in each, after each and every application name, you will find the memory usage and CPU usage, right? So by reading this, after spending some time with your operating system, you can come to know some more detail. We can take decisions, right? For example, if the software is not open, right? If the software is not open manually by you, but still if it is allocated some amount of memory and processor, that means some third party access happening, you know, right? So we have malware and we have virus and we have, right? right? Some security rule. Likewise, there are some decisions can be taken by looking at this monitor or by looking at this processor window, right? So you're going to scroll down and find MS Word that is running now, which is running now. So right click in the MS Word application, and here we can click on go to details, right? So once you click on go to details, you will be taken to details tab because they are in the process tab, right? So now you are in the details tab. Here you can see uh, the way that Windows calling this software, right? We calling it as Microsoft Word, but Windows, this operating system calling it using WinWord. So if you type this specific word in run command, you can open it. We're not going to type this .exe. Without .exe, if you type this, you can open uh, MS Word. Okay. So I'll give you a minute or maybe 2 minutes. You're going to find the way I showed you, the way of finding the run command. You're going to find the run command of PowerPoint. And can you let me know that? Can you check the way of using PowerPoint? I mean, the way of opening PowerPoint using run command in your own PC, and you're going to get back to me with the run command. What do you think will be the run command to open PowerPoint? Correct? Still finding?
So I don't have a PC.
Okay. How about this?
Power
Those.
PE.
Okay, Max. Right. So finally he found it. What is that? Power PNT. Correct? Okay. No problem, Abdullah. Okay. Right. So power pnt is the command to open PowerPoint. So let's try what he said. So I'm going to say power pnt, and if you press open, you can see PowerPoint. Right. So likewise, for each and every software that we're using here is having unique run commands. Right. So using those run commands also you can open the software. Right. Okay, now that's enough. Now we'll go and access uh, Microsoft Office, right? So if you have given a username and password, you have given a username and a password, right? So let me take you all through the presentation first, and I'll show you whatever features that is available in Office, and I'll take you through the real features. I mean the real window. Right? I'll show you the way of using the login window. Right. So when you log in for the very first time, you will be requested to change the password. Right. So whatever password that we gave you is one-time password. We call it as OTP. That whatever we have, they have issued in the screenshot is one time password. Correct? Okay. And there are many types of accounts that Microsoft created, right? So here we using specifically a college type of account, right? And also we have something called corporate accounts, right? So there will be difference in those two, right? So what are the features which is enabled in the college account cannot be, I mean, you can't find it in the corporate account, and whatever they have enabled in the corporate will not be there in the college type of account, education type of account. And for example, assignment module, right? There are no purpose that corporate sector is having assignment and students, right? So those things will not be there in the corporate account, right? And whatever we have in the corporate account, the group discussions and project timelines, and there are something, right? So those kind of project management tools will not be available here in the college accounts, right? So you're going to see the difference, and I don't think it is complete. I mean, it is essential to know about this type of different features. But if you really need, I can get you some information, right? And sessions can, I mean, the way of attending to the sessions, and while you are in the session, what are the features that you can see in your window, and if you click on these individual icons, what it will do or what will happen. I'm going to show you that. Right, I have some screenshots added in the presentation. I'll show you the each icon, the purpose of each and every icon that we can see, and session features. Right, so during the session or before starting the session, right, what are the pre-arrangements that you can do uh, to start before you starting the session, how you can plan, right, how to set time, how to set date, and how to set the priorities or privileges or controls, right? So there are some sessions where you can say only one presenter can be there, all those who joining will be automatically transferred as attendee, right? So while I'm in the lectures, I can bring someone to the presenting position. So these things can be predefined before you creating the session. I will show you that. And assignment module, and how accurate assignment module is, right? So it is not like you sending your assignments through email, right, where uh, they have to find, right, every day lecturer is getting many emails, right? So if I want to find your specific assignment, I have to search by typing your email id or by typing your name, right? So without going into the traditional way, there is a separate module they have created in the MS Teams called assignment, that where we can easily track your assignment works and activities. I'll show you that too. Forms and quiz, right? So forms, there are two different applications, right? So which is almost same. Form is we using forms for data collection, right? So usually we use forms for data collection. If you're doing a survey, you can create some questions, and you can have that posted in some social media, or you can circulate among your friends or people, right? So they'll respond it. You can take the statics out of the response that you received, maybe regarding COVID-19, what are the first priority, right? So they have concern in this nowadays, right? So you can post some questions and you can find out what really people thinking, right? So that is kind of data collection, right? And there is another part in the quiz panel, or we can say form panel, we call it as quiz, okay? That is specially designed for, or designed to capture or conduct online exams, MCQ type exams, right, where we can create questions and we can give you the link. So once you click on that link, you will be taken to a page where you will see all the questions that lecturer has created and the given answers, right? So answers can be captured as a radio button via selection, and we can write, right? And we can select time and things like that. Right? So there are different ways that we can capture the answers from students. And since they know about the students, right? Since Mr. Bill Gates know about you all, there are some features enabled. Automatically, the question order will be shuffled for each and every students that we have in the class. We have 50 students. the pattern of the question will be completely different for all 50, right? So there are no way that you can copy from others, right? So I'll show you how restricted these things are. Okay. And these are the packages that usually get usually enabled for student license, right? So you'll be getting Outlook, email, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and we have something called OneNote, where we can use or effectively manage your daily notes, right? So you can effectively manage your daily notes, right? So for example, you are in the lectures and lecturer teaching you something, right? Now we are completely moved into electronics, right? So uh, whatever points that you want to note down, you usually take a notebook and you write, right? Some people use different applications, right? In your mobile there are many applications, they have four notes. You can type the data into those applications, or else you can use OneNote, which is given by Microsoft again, right? So in OneNote there is a feature where you can ask the assistant to read out whatever you type. I'll show you some interesting features in that. And MS Teams, and OneDrive is uh, very, helpful software, very powerful software, where you can store all your data, right, up to 1 TB, right? So I have never seen a company giving you uh, a huge storage like Microsoft giving you, right? For example, if you are owning a Gmail account, what is the maximum capacity that you can store it for free?
15 gigabytes.
15 gigabytes, right?
15
But
gigabyte.
in Yes, exactly. Right. So until 15 GB you can go for free. After that, if you need more storage, you have to pay. You have to pay and you have to get it. Right. But in OneDrive, you can store up to 1 TB. Right. So I don't think you can completely fill that all 1 TB within this 4 months of program. Right. So have that habit of storing the data in clouds, that we don't usually, when nowadays usually they don't depend on the hardware equipments. It can damage anytime, right? Electronic devices, we can't assure, right? So don't depend on the hardware devices that you're owning. Have the habit of using the clouds, and again that should be from a trusted source, right? So Microsoft is okay, or if it is from Google, it's okay, right? Or else Dropbox. There are some companies, they are offering it for free without expecting some, without getting other advantages, right? But there are some companies, they playing with you, right? So whatever data is that you are uploading, they can use it for their own purpose, right? So we have to be very careful in dealing with data, and don't give your data for them to sell, right? So there are people, they are enabled auto sync in the gallery, so all the personal pictures that you take will be synced to the post, that can be easily manipulated for something else. And so we have to be very careful in dealing with data, right? And Access is a database, right? Access in Microsoft Access is a database which is coming in the Office package, right? So we're going to learn that too, the way of creating the database and the way of dealing with data. So we'll see the way of doing that, right? And creating assignment. So what are the uses? These are the features, and what are the uses? Assignments can be created, reports, letters can be drafted, presentation, and we can create MCQ exam papers and things like that, and we can submit and issue assignments and many things. Right? Okay, so here this will be the login page, right? So if you type office.com, that is the default URL, right? So that is the main window, right? If you want to log in for uh, the Office, we call it as Office 365 account, If you want to log in for through the main login, or else we have different URLs that you can access. If you want to directly go to Outlook, there's a different URL where you can say Outlook and something. If you want to directly access OneDrive, you can say the OneDrive and something, right? But in here, if you directly say office.com, office.com, you will be taken to this kind of window. That you will be taken to a similar window, right? But whatever accounts that we have given to you, right, the account and the password can be used in this window, right? That given username and password can be used in this window. What you're going to do is you're going to come and click on this sign in, right? Then you will be taken to this window where you're going to type the email and the given password. So once you entered one-time password, we call it as OTP, they'll ask you to change it, since that is accepted to use it only one time, right? So you have to change with the new password. So in the new password, how your new password should be, that is what I have mentioned here, right? So how your new password should be, right? It must be at least 12 characters, right? You should contain 12 characters in it, right? So total number of characters should be at least 12, right? കുറഞ്ഞത് 12 എടുക്കണം, right? അടുമകാണി 12 തീയതി, right? Contain a combination of at least three of the following type, right? So you should have, there are four types that you can see here in the list. At least they wanted you to select three and include it in the 12 character, right? So there should be an uppercase. കുറഞ്ഞത് 3 വകയാണ് ഡേറ്റാസ് இருக்கும், right? അടുപ്പകാണെ types തുണാക്കി എന്നോട് list taking, right? One, there should be uppercase, capital letters you should have, right? You should have uppercases, mean capital letters you should have in the password that you want to create, right? And you should have lowercase, right? So one letter may be capital and one other lower, it depends. You should have at least an uppercase and lowercase and a number, right? A number and symbols mean, bracket, comma, what else, quotations, colons, at sign, right, and sign, right, and hyphens, exclamation. There are many symbols that you can have, right? So you should have at least one or some symbols, right? So you should have, you should create your password with the mix of these things, right? uh, Uppercase, capital letter only இருக்கணும், simple letter இருக்கணும், number இருக்கணும், symbols and the signs இருக்கணும், கீபோர்டில் இருக்கிற அந்த ஏதாவது ஒரு சைன் யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கணும், அதோட நினைவு வச்சிருக்கணும். Okay, the most important thing, right? Uppercase can capital letter at the end, small letter at the end, number at the end, symbol whisker the end, password. මේ හතරේ මොනවා හරි තුනක් තිබ්බනම් හරි. இது மூணுல இது நாலுல சரி மூணு இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணுவீங்களா சரி, right? Must not contain the username. So when you creating a password, don't say the username which is given, a number which is given to you, right, already, right? So don't try with the number, right, the student ID that we have given to you, don't include that in your password, right, which can be guessed quickly, that, and the system will not accept you to have that, right? The new password cannot be the same password as previous, right? So you can't have a similar password that we have given as a OTP, right? Can you stay for another 2 minutes? I'll be back, right? 2 minutes.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, right. So, thank you for being for a minute or two. Right. So, let's continue this. Yes. So, these are the main requirements that they have regarding a password, right? So, if I want to repeat it again, 12 characters and a mix of these things, and no, don't contain the username inside the password, or don't use the password which is given to you as a one-time password (OTP). Don't repeat the same password which is given to you. Okay. So if you can include these things, the password that you creating newly will be accepted by Microsoft from the platform, right? So that's very simple and easy, right? And the very important thing, you should remember the password that you created, right? So having these things okay, right? So it's you have your own freedom to select whatever according to the criteria they have mentioned, but you have to remember the password that you created. That is very important, and there are no way of resetting the password in your own, right? That also must be highlighted. We have not enabled that self resetting feature yet, right? So that is to be enabled in future, but that is not enabled yet. So if you got any mistakes, or if you forget your password after changing, we have no way of accessing the password, the new password that you created, and we can't let you know. We can't see that from the admin panel, right? So only thing that they can do is, again, they have to create you another OTP and they have to send you. And there are no way of doing it in by your own, right? So you have to inform your coordinator or the lecturer, right? So they'll guide you, or they'll give you a contact to the person who's dealing in the backend, right? So who created these accounts for you. So we have to forward your account. You have to give us the email address, right? So we have to forward that email address to the IT support. They'll reset and give you the new OTP. So that is the process of resetting the password, right? So you have to be very careful in I mean, in the password that you have to remember, or you have to write down somewhere and keep it. And I have I mean, it is not important here the way of the features which is enabled in the corporate account. I'll show you what are the features that we have in the college accounts, right? And here you can see uh, a window where it will show you the sessions created, right? Where it will show you the sessions created, right? So how can you join? So if that's easy, when you see it through your student view, there'll be a join button somewhere here. There'll be a join button somewhere here. If you log in using a lecturer's view, you're going to click somewhere in the blue color panel, and you will be taken to place where you'll see a join button in the top, right? So let me show you in the real window. See, this is the window that I'm currently using. This is not in a screenshot, this is real one, right? So here you can see there is a join button, right? And I'm inside batch 290, which is your batch. I'm inside your batch, right? So here you can see there is a join button. By clicking on this join button, you can join, right? So if you can't see this here, students can see. The lecturers, if you can't see here, you're going to click here, and this will be here somewhere at the top, So by clicking on this, now we conducting session for 1 hour and 53 minutes, right? So these data and the students, those who joined, right? The small list of students, those who joined, and these things will not be there once when you joining for the first time, right? And other data that I assigned for the session is can be seen here, right? And if I want to tell you a bit more about this window, we call this as a team, right? So can I go back and show you the teams that I have in my account? I have to click here in the teams, right? So I will be taken back to the teams thumbnail view. We call it as a thumbnail view, right? Where I can see all the teams which I am in, right? All the teams that I am in, right? So I am inside. I'm a member of this 290. I'm a member of the HND 71, and I'm a member of this. Likewise, whatever teams that you are in will be listed here, right? So there are many teams that I'm in which I'm taking sessions, right? So according to students, you will be there in one specific team, right? So you will see something like this, right? So you will see SCM, ACCB, CCB 029. I don't think you need these the meaning of this, right? So SCM School of Computing Access Program Colombo, or we can say City Campus, right? And the badge number 219. So if I click on 219, you will see all the sessions that lecturers scheduled. You will not see that in the general and that is what we call teams, that is what we call teams. And inside teams there are many channels. We call this individual titles as a channels. If you doing English IT both, right? So English sessions will be scheduled inside English what do you call channel. Inside English channel you will find English schedules, right? English sessions will be scheduled inside English channel. And when I teach you Microsoft Office regarding IT, you will find Microsoft Office related sessions, right? So MS Word sessions, Excel sessions will be scheduled somewhere here. Teacher training sessions will be scheduled inside teacher training teams, which is not created yet, or maybe it is created and you can see that. Since I am not a part of the member, I'm not a part of teacher training program, so you will see that in my list I will not be able to see that. Like here you can see, if you go inside these three dots and if you click on manage teams, uh, here you can see there are two owners and there are many students here, right? So in your English, the teacher training channel, I will not be there, right? Okay. So we call these things as a channels, right? And we call this main thing as a teams, right? And there is another way to access this. There's another way to access this, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to go and click on, right? So let me take you inside Office first. So what you're going to do is you're going to type office.com. As I showed you in the previous slide, you will be taken to this specific window. They're recommending you to download Microsoft browser, which is Edge, right? So Microsoft Explorer is no more. They have officially removed what you call Microsoft Explorer. They have stopped, right? They came up with something newly saying Microsoft Edge, right? So as I review, as I checked some reviews, it is performing well, right? So this specific browser is performing well, right? But still I'm not comfortable in switching my browser from Google Chrome to Edge, so you can decide it, right? So both good. And I'm going to go and click on this sign in, And as I already said, you will be taken to this window, right, where you have to type your given email, right? So that will be a kind of number, this kind of number, and bcast.ac, right? So here I'm going to type the email ID that they have given to us, right? So the lecturer's email ID will end with LK, and students will see .ac, and they will not see their name here, they'll see their ID here, right? And they're going to click next. Once you click next, they'll ask you to type the password, right? So I'm going to type the password that they have created for me. I have changed, and they'll ask you to change it with the new password, right? So you will not get this window. They'll ask you to change the password with the new password. So you know the what you know the criteria to be followed when you creating the new password. Okay? So in this, they have given us an extra feature we call two authentication password, right? So what do you mean by that? The mobile number is connected here, right? So if I type my password, they'll not allow me to go inside because they think that someone else also can try entering my password. So they should have the mobile phone of my mobile phone with them. So there will be an OTP. This kind of number will be sent to the mobile. So they have to type that to go inside. Right. So in student case, we have not enabled two authentication password yet. So according to the way that we monitor, there are no external access happened yet. Right. So if that happened, if you created a simple password, your logins also will be applied. The two authentication will be applied for your logins as well. And every time when you log, you have to have your mobile phone with you, right? So you make sure you have powerful password created. So no, we don't want to enable your two authentication thing, which is again headache. Right? So once you enter username and password, you will be seeing this window. Since I'm working for some times here, I can see there are some recently accessed documents and applications, right? So when you log in for the first time, you will not see these many things, right? Everything will be blank with some nice icons, right? From here, from the left panel, if you click on the very left top list icon, you will see what are the applications enabled to your account. What are the applications enabled to your account, right? Or else scroll down, as a shortcut they have given it to you in this way, right? But if you want to see the name, you're going to keep the cursor and see it, right? So if you are not familiar with the icons, you're going to keep the cursor and see this specific icon is for Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Likewise, everything is listed here. And if I click on MS Teams, right, if I click on Teams icon, you will be taken to this Teams window. Right, since I am logged already using my application, it's giving me trouble. Right. So now what I wanted to say is this specific teams can be accessed in two different ways. Right, one, using your native browser, using your normal browser, you can access it, or else using the application, using native application. Right. So what do you mean by that? There is a standalone application where you can download and install called Microsoft Teams, right? So there's a standalone application where you can download and install in your computer called Microsoft Teams, right? If you double click that application for the first time, it will ask you to type the username and password which is given to you, right? So there are no different passwords for the login of Microsoft Teams. All the password, I mean all the application regarding Microsoft is connected to the same password and username, right? So you're going to type the given username and the password, and then you will be taken to this window, right? Or else you can go and type Microsoft Office as I showed you, and you can go and access uh, it through uh, that you call the browser, right? So but which one do you think is better, accessing MS
Application.
Teams through yes, accessing MS Teams through browser is better, or accessing application through the standalone software which is Microsoft Teams is better? Others, what do you think? Browser all is access பண்ணி class attend பண்றது suitable, right? So accessing it through the browser and attending to class is suitable, or else here there are two different windows that you can see. These from browser and these from, let me open this. Yes, these from application, right? Installed software. These from the browser. And which one do you think is better?
In application.
Application.
Yes, right. So installing application to your computer and attending to class is the best way, right? So why do you think it is best? Why we
It
should have, yes?
it looks more organized and it is easier to work through the application than going through the web browser.
Okay, yes. So that is the one reason. What else do you think? It's well organized and easy to use. What else?
It saved the settings we customized in the software itself.
You mean the settings can be customized in the software itself? That is what you said.
Yes.
Okay, yes, okay. So in the standalone application, you will have a feature where you can customize and work in this use inside the same software, I'm saying. Okay, what else?
More features are available through the installed application than the web browser, because the web browser for each application used by Teams will be opening another web page, and in the browser another application will be opened, which is even convenient.
Yes, right. So all the features that you're going to come and click on inside the browser will take you to a new tab, right? Since the browser is not officially created to handle MS Teams, right? So some features will not be there, or will not be there as you can access in here. For example, the main reason that why I wanted you to install and use is the support that the application is getting from operating system is far better than the browser, right? So whatever it is directly utilizing memory, and it is directly utilizing processor and working, so it will be very smooth, right? So if it is a browser, so browser is not officially created only to handle MS Teams, right? Browser is capable of handling web contents, right? So the same thing they have created in the web content, web tools, right? So that is not the purpose of the browser, right? So if you open and use this native installed MS Teams, the smoothness and it will be fast, and the features like webcam, it is directly accessing the hardware component of the machine, and the microphone, it is directly accessing the microphone, it is not shared with other applications. In browser you can work with many applications, but when it's come to MS Teams, it will directly access the hardware components and it will get you the best of the hardware that you which is available in the PC, right? So the smoothness and the memory allocations and the features that is utilizing which you have in the device will be perfect compared to the version that you have in the browser, right? You will experience very bad things if you attend sessions online using your browser. For example, if you suddenly click on this refresh button, right, so you will be out for some times, right? All what the lecturer is saying will not be, you can't hear, right? And the session, if the session timeout, or if the, you know, there are cookies sessions running back in the back end of the browser, right? So maintaining that in a proper way is not easy, right? So what I'm saying is, if you owning a laptop, or if you, even if you owning other devices, right, in the tab or mobile, download MS Teams natively by spending some MBs, right? And through that downloaded application, attend for the sessions in future, right? Okay, so once you entered inside, uh, these how you have to join, right? So once you click join button, you will be taken to this window where you can decide whether you're going to go inside with you're going to join to the meeting using your video enabled, or using the background enabled, using the microphone enabled, right? So these are the three decisions you're going to take before you entering inside a session, right? So if there are people already in the meeting, what is the best practice? Better unmute yourself, mute yourself, right? Turn off this microphone, right? And even will turn out the video, right? And you can enable I mean, before you entering, I mean, before you enabling the video, there is something called background picture can be changed, right? I'll show you the way of doing that. So better these three disabled when you enter into the session if there are someone already. How can we know that? It will show you, right? So how can we know how many of them are already there in the session? That will give you a number, right? That will stay. Before you click, it will say these many people already there inside the session. So if you know there are people already inside the session, make sure to disable all three, go inside, and you can enable it anytime, right? Okay. And how can I check the participation list? Let me open my window. So if you enter inside, right, so this is how you will see. If you enter inside, this is how you will see, right? If you want to see how many of them are in the session with you, you're going to come and click here, show participants. So if you click here, you will see how many of them they are in the list now, right? There are 42, right? 42 attendees and one presenter, right? So there are many of them here. You can see the number, right? And video turn on and turn off. So how can I turn on my video, right? So if I come and click here, you can see before I click here, if you keep your cursor, it will the camera will be turned on and it will show you. If I not shared my screen, you will not, the webcam, whatever picture that you seeing through my webcam will not be visible for the user until you click. So why they have enabled this kind of feature? If you move your cursor on top of this icon, it will show you these are the it will show you these how you look like in your camera. So if you're willing to go with the picture on or you video on, you can click, or you can prepare yourself to go live. Correct? Right? So those who willing to turn on your camera, you can turn it on. Before that, let me show you another thing. Let's enable this and we'll go for online. Right? So here you can see there are three dots. You're going to come and click here, and there is something called apply background effect. Right? So you'll see the same thing, but some PCs you will see it somewhere in the middle like this. Right? In the middle, bottom center. Right? In some versions you will see that in the top right here, as you can see. Right? So you're going to come and click on these three dots, and there is a huge list of menus. Right? So each one is referring for different features. I will come to that later. Now click on this apply background effect. Apply background effect. Right? So you will be taken to this window where you have uh, nice backgrounds, right? So if you, okay, no need to talk about which is professional, and you can decide, right? Okay, so I'm willing to go with this, which I was enabled already, right? And if I click apply and turn on video, right? If I click on this, the video will be on with the background that I selected. Or else if you want to see how I'm looking like now, you're going to click preview, right? And then change the background and see which is suitable to you, right? And you can decide whatever you think is okay. So I'm willing to go with this, and I'm going to say apply and turn on, right? So you can switch between the backgrounds that is available in here. Right? See, there are some funny backgrounds to work. So here inside this, I'm teaching for bunch of people, not in this world, or we in not in this planet, right? So why this is important? Why? What is the use of this? Right? What is the purpose they have enabled this kind of thing? Is if you are in a room with some others, right? If you enable this background, whoever walking behind you will not be captured to your webcam. Right. So others can move, since you are going to get connected from your home, right? So you can have stay in somewhere which is not disturbing others, right? But still they can move around, right? If you enable this background, they will not be captured to your webcam, right? So can we come up with the camera, those who willing to turn on? Apply any kind of backgrounds that you like, and you're going to click and enable it. Ivaz, yes, I know you. Hi. Who else willing to join us today using camera? And you can see the picture that Imaz using is not there in the list. So how can we get that? If you scroll all the way to the top, here you can see something called add new. So if you are not happy with the pictures that they have given, you can click on this add new, and you can upload any images that you like. For example, if you conducting online session, or if you doing some thing for joining with a company, their backdrop can be added here. So they'll see the company logos and things like that, right? So that is all about the background and the webcam video. right? And here if I click on this mute, you will not hear me, right? You will not hear me if I click on this mute. So you can mute yourself anytime, right? If you I mean if you're doing something else without disturbing the lectures, you can mute and do whatever you have to do, right? So others will not be able to hear if you mute, right? And the next icon that you can see here is to share the screen. See here, when I click this, the sharing will be stopped. If I click that, you will not see my shared screen, right? I have stopped it, right? So if I want to enable, this is on the same icon, I'm going to click again, right? On the same icon, I'm going to click again, right? And then there are some options to be selected, right? Let me take a screenshot and I'll come back and show you what I had when I click on that, right? So when I clicked on that share screen, when I click on this share screen, uh, I this window will pop up, right? There it will say arrow key up, right? So it was saying arrow key up. So this was the window that I got. This was the window with image picture in the half of the screen, and there is a pop up in the from the bottom, right? This will say, I mean, there are different icons that you can see here. If I click on the very first one, this one, right, the entire screen, whatever you can see in your laptop can be seen by others in the session, right? If I click on the first icon, whatever you can see can be seen by others in the session. If I click on these things, there are four options given here. Since I have four applications running at the moment, right? If I click on this PowerPoint window, whatever I do in my screen, see here, if I minimize, or if I do minimize, and if I open something, whatever I can do, but they can't see other than my PowerPoint window. Even if I minimize, they can see whatever slide that you can, whatever picture that you can see here will not only be visible to them. They will not be able to see what I have in my desktop, what I am currently doing. They can only see my PowerPoint. If I share using, if I click on this PowerPoint application, only this PowerPoint application will be visible for them. If I click on this Microsoft Teams, only Microsoft Teams will be visible for them. Whatever I'm doing other than this will not be visible, right? So if you have any concern in sharing your screen, if you have any personal data in your desktop or in somewhere, better to share by selecting that specific application. So only that selected application will be shared for the entire session people. Right? And we have something called whiteboard, and we can open even online presentations. So we're going to see these things later. And freehand, I have never used this, right? So by whiteboard you can write live, so whatever you writing will be visible for the students, those who they are in the session, right? uh, and you have some PowerPoint presentations here. If you open this PowerPoint presentation, it is completely different from uh, sharing, right? It is completely different from a standard sharing. Directly the PowerPoint will be displayed to them as a material or as a application. So it is not mean by you sharing the screen and showing the PowerPoint in the screen like I'm doing now. You directly uploading into the host, and through host you opening it, right? So all these text and all these data will be visible to them clearly, and it is lightweighted, right? So if I share my complete screen, uh, and if I directly open a presentation, the data consumption will be different, right? So here I'm lively giving my screen view to the user. If I upload this presentation and if I open it lively, right? That means you opening a material online. So only it will take, the data will be consumed only for the relevant slide contents. It will consume only to download the relevant, only to display the relevant content, not to share things lively, right? But there are some limitations that you have. If you have some data in another presentation, that cannot be opened as I'm opening now, right? If I have something else in somewhere else, I can go and open it directly. All what I'm doing can be seen by all the students. But if you shared the uploaded presentation, that cannot be done. That you have to upload it again, and you're going to select a different presentation, right? So that is all about the window, right? So that's what we have in this window. And there is another thing that you can enable. If I go to more actions, and here we have something called meeting options. If I click on this meeting options, they'll ask you some questions. This cannot be done by the students. Here you can see who can bypass the lobby, right? I have changed it into everyone. So those who click on the link, those who click on the link which is given to you, they can directly come inside without any permissions. Or else you may have seen some lecturers, they have to come and click on this admit button here, right and wrong, right? If you're willing to take them in, that is what we call lobby. They'll come and stay in the lobby until you allow them. They can't come inside the session. So if you need all of them, those who coming through the link, if you want them, if you want all of them to accept, you can pre-accept it. This is what you have to do. You're going to go to meeting options, and who can bypass lobby, who can bypass, who can come directly inside without waiting. I said everyone. Or you can even go and say people in my organization, right? So those who coming from bcas.ac or bcas.lk, they can come inside. Others they have to wait, or others they have to take the permission of the presenter or the organizer, right? People in my organization and guest. So whoever we have registered as a guest, they can come. And people in my organization, trusted organizations and guests. So if the organization is entered or added as a trusted organization inside our admin panel, they also can come. So these are the options available. So what I did is, so everyone, since I have circulated the link only among my students, so I know only they will come, right? So if you are sure with that, you can say everyone. So people, those who willing, they can come and join, right? And the assignment module, right? So I'll show you some assignments that is already submitted. Some assignments that is already submitted. Uh, by showing that, I'll show you the way of dealing with assignments. So here you can see these are the students and their status, right? So here you can see one student, right? One student submitted his assignment 6 days late, right? So if I click on the progress, I can see the assignment that he submitted. I can see the assignment is submitted. At the same time, I can see the history, how, what is the timeline when I assigned it and when he viewed it, right? I assigned it on 4th March, and he opened it on 28th, and the due date is on 28th, right? So he opened it on the due date, right? Same day, and he didn't submit it on 28th. He submitted April 4th. So all whatever you doing will be tracked here. Right. This will be easy for lecturers, right? Since we have 50 students, right? No lecturers can be I mean, no students can be monitored up to this level individually, right? So system will take care of these things, right? So when you assigned it and when students viewed it, whether they have viewed it or not, right? And when is the due date that we have signed, and when they have originally submitted it, right? So let's open another assignment where they have submitted on time. See, assigned and viewed and submitted and due date. So before, on the same day, on the same due day, 11:59 p.m. mean the whole day I have given them, but she submitted it on 8:41 p.m. So it is that accurate, right? So these things are very accurate, so you can't play with your lecturers now, right? So even I can go and give her a comment or feedback, right? By clicking here I can type anything that I want, right? So if the lecturer is willing to give any feedbacks, we can give them, right? If I type something from your end, you will be able to see that, right? And if I go to this grading panel, I can see what are the assignments that we have assigned and what is the current status of it, right? So here, see, you can see in the entire batch how many assignments that we allocated, from what is the channel, and for each and every students what how they performing. So I can see uh, this specific student how he is performing. See, only viewed, no submission. Yes. So some students you can see they have viewed, they have not submitted, right? So the status is clearly mentioned here, right, of all the students, right? So your records will be tracked in the same way, right? So your records also will be tracked in the same way, right? So the lecturers, those who teaching online, they can monitor everything accurately. Even if I click on this, how in detail we can go and check, right? So if I click on this specific student, how how this specific student performed, right? And what are the days that we allocated assignments, and how many days he late. See, 18 days late. Likewise, everything is given, and there is a lecturer given a feedback, right? So that is also can be seen by them. Even we can allocate marks, right? So that is all about the assignment. So you will be evaluated strictly, right, uh, based on the activities. I mean, based on the assignments that we're going to give you, right? Right, and we have something called forms and quiz. I'll quickly show you what is we have running out of time. We already exceeded. I'll quickly show you what is form and what is quiz. Right. So here you can see there are some exams that I conducted. I usually use what do you call quiz, right, to capture the data from students. See, if I click on a quiz that I created and shared among my student, if I go to response, I can see how many of them answered well for some questions that I created, right? For example, if I the correct answer, right, above program has no errors is the correct answer, right? So out of 13 response I received, out of 13, 8 of them said correctly and 5 of them said selected the wrong answer, right? So by looking at this, lecturers will understand which part to be repeated. That if it is 100% wrong, right, we can't blame you, all right? So we have to do something, or I will be slightly covering that part again and including in the next exam if it is possible. And we can clearly check if others can do, you also can do, right? So you are not focusing well. So we can take many type of decisions by looking at this, and each and every answer can be reviewed. Each and every answer can be reviewed what this specific student selected. And if I go next, what this specific student selected. Alright, so what these specific students say. Likewise, each and every answer that we posting can be evaluated or checked one by one. And how long each student took to complete the exam. So 2 minutes and 43 2 hours 43 minutes. Not 1 minute. I don't think they'll take hours. 16 minutes and 9 seconds. 7 minutes and just 5 questions. It will take. I mean, average maybe 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, you can do this. Okay. Let's see, 5 minutes and 19 seconds. Some people they did it in 1 minute. Okay, but 100% correct mean okay. So likewise, they are very good. I mean, if you are fully understood the subject, answering 5 questions is not a big deal, right? So it is part of a practical quiz, right? So you will be getting around 15 to 20 marks will be included into your module by having this kind of quiz, right? So while I'm teaching, the entire module will be divided into portions, right, pieces, and you will be evaluated part by part. So I don't want to wait until the last moment to know that you have no idea, right? So you will be evaluated in different ways. So be ready to face or be ready to learn things properly. That I'll give you the maximum support. I'll give you the support to understand all whatever I teach, but I need the support from you all too. Yes. So saying request control, what is that? So here, if I make someone as a presenter, if I make someone as a presenter, I will make Mr. Pradeep as a presenter. Right. So now we both presenting, right? So now we both can get together and do a session, right? So some part can be delivered by me and some part can be delivered by Mr. Pradeep. So if I click on share, right, you will see something called take control in your window. If you click on that, your the next presenter's screen can be shared. Next presenter's screen can be shared, and I can mute, and he can show all the stuff that he is having in his machine. So that is what we call take the control. Here you can see give control. So in your side you will see take control. So to whom I should give, right? So if you got a request, if you click on this take control, you will be I will be getting a request. So if I accept, you will be taking the control and you will be conducting the session, right? So that is the uh, meaning of take control. Image. Correct. Right. And you can see Imaz requesting to take the control, and if I click allow, he can continue delivering the session, right? So we'll have a session, we'll have someone allocated to a session. I usually do that, right? So while I'm teaching, after complete one portion, I give the session to someone, so he or she will be teaching that specific part for the people, or it is kind of will do that as well, but not today since I have not started any sessions officially. So after starting the sessions officially, I will be completing one chapter, and I will be allocating a person, or I will be dividing you into group, and I will be picking one from each group, and they have to come and teach that specific part that I have taught. So whatever I have covered, he will be deliver. I mean, he will be repeating it. right? So others in the session, they have to give us a feedback, right? So others in the session, they have to give how well he covered the area that we discussed. So we're going to do many things. So that time you will be using this feature, take control and giving control and these things, right? Okay, that's it for the day. And if you got any questions, if you know something, you can unmute and you can talk to me. Anything to be clarified?
Yeah, Ms. Dilshad, this is very informative. And I would like to know if we can, break the learners into groups in teams like we do in Zoom.
Yes, Mr. Pradeep, that can be done. Here we can. Uh, I have never, grouped into. There's a way. Let me get back to you with that. If I can find it from here, I'll show you that, or else I'll show you the way of breaking into groups. Is another one. Uh, I'll get you with the screenshots directly to you, Mr. Pradeep. At the
Okay, sure,
moment,
no problem. I
okay,
simply
okay.
wanted to know. Yeah.
Yes, yes. But there is a way. Like Zoom, we can, the same class can be divided into groups by allocating in each group 2, 3 people, then we can divide and work. So whatever one group talking, others cannot hear until you go inside. So there, that feature is also there. But I'll show you the way of using it. Most of the English department and other module lecturers, they're doing it.
Yes.
I'll get back to you with it. Okay,
Okay, sure.
okay, okay, Mr. Bell. I'll get.
Sir, I have a
Yes,
doubt, sir.
yes, Simas.
So what are the file formats we can submit to the assignment portal?
What are the file formats that you can? Most probably, document docx can be submitted. Let me check. We'll create an assignment and see.
Ah, okay.
Once.
Thank you.
These how we're going to create an assignment. So what you want to do is, if I want to create an assignment, share it inside my Microsoft Office. I'm going to go and, or maybe we'll go to assignment. Right, I'll click. I have selected the general and I have clicked on the assignments tab. And here we have get started. Since it is a brand new Teams, I have not issued any assignments yet. So I'm going to click get started. And here we have create. So there are different types of assignments that we can create. It can be again a quiz, right? So I'm going to go and say, I'm going to create an assignment where people can submit their file without using the data that I am displaying here. So I'm going to click on this assignment, then I will be taken to this window, right? So here, let's see any submission restrictions that we have. So here what I want to do is, I have to say what kind of assignments that I'm going to release. So I will just say MS Word activity 1. Right, so MS Word activity 1, and I'll say it as tester, or else you will, others, those who are not in the session, they will be panicked. So I'm going to say test and instructions. So what is the instruction that you willing to give, right? So dear students, please complete task 1, right? So the questions can be pasted here. For example, uh, and we'll see whether I can grab a question quickly and give it to you. Right, so I'm going to copy this and paste it for now. Right. Likewise, you can have the instructions mentioned, right? So however, lecturers will explain to you the way of doing that assignment, but again, right, we have to give you in written. So this is how we're going to say that, right? I'm going to say good luck. and how many points that I'm willing to allocate for this specific activity, that can be mentioned here, and in which channel I'm going to publish. So in which channel I'm going to publish, that can be decided. So I'm going to publish it for batch 289, sorry 290. So say I said already 290, and I'm not going to publish it in the general, right? Since I'm not willing to disturb other lecturers. For example, the same channel, so same team will be used by English department and IT lecturers. So if I published somewhere in the general, right? So it will be visible for all. They are in the window will be disturbed for them, right? So I have to specifically select. I'm going to specifically select the channel to be displayed. So I'm going to go and select Microsoft Office, right? So this will be published inside Microsoft Office, right? So it will not disturb the English and other module lecturers. It will be only published inside Microsoft Office. I'm going to say done, and the due dates and other stuffs. So if I go inside here, there are 3 dates that we can select. One, scheduling day. If you are willing to schedule it in future, not today, right? So you planning to issue this assignment by next week. Maybe I'm sure that I'm going to complete all the deliveries by within the week, and I'm planning to release it by next Monday. So you can see next Monday is third, right? So I'm going to select schedule to assign it in future. So I'm going to go and say 3rd May, this day, right? And time also can be decided. We'll say by morning 8 o'clock I need the assignment to be released, right? So this is what we call scheduling, schedule date and time. And due date, when when you expecting students to submit that assignment. So I scheduled it on 3rd. I need exactly 1 week. I'm going to give them 1 week, and on that day they can submit whole day. They can take the whole day to submit. So until 11:59, right? Until 11:59 we calling it as May 10. If it is 12, we call it as May 11. So under the whole day they can take to submit their assignment, right? So schedule day and due day. What if the close date means, if I say 10th we have given the deadline, right? But still late submissions will be accepted for another 3 days, right? So that is what we call close day. For example, I can give them until 13, right? So late submission we also will be taken for only 3 days, and after 13th 11:59 they will not be able to see, at least even they can't see the assignment posted. That will be disappeared, or it will say the time exceeded. Assignment issued panel will be there, they will not be able to submit that. That means we have officially closed. So if you still you want to do that, you're going to join, or you're going to talk to your lecturer or the coordinator, or you're going to do it with another batch. So usually we have some restriction. I'm going to talk to these restrictions later, since we have students from 2 programs. uh, I will tell you all the restrictions and the guidelines that we have in IT department. Right. So close date means after 13th, no one can submit. Right. If you're not willing to give them close date, you can uncheck this. We can uncheck so that no close dates given. They can submit the assignment anytime, but in the submission summary, it will say how many days delayed. Right. So that is what we have in this issuing panel. And then yes, so submission uh, formats or the data types are not mentioned here. So hope you can submit using docx or using PDF by converting that into PDF, or if it is a PowerPoint presentation, directly submit it as PPTX, or else if it is a RAR file or zip file, that also can be submitted. Right. So there are no restrictions given to the students regarding the submission file type, right? So I will be posting this assignment for a testing purpose. If you want to try submitting some files, you can give a try, right? So without scheduling it, see here, it will say there are three buttons here. One, discard mean I'm not going to continue issue this assignment. I'm going to delete this. Save mean I'm not issuing it now. I'm not scheduling or I'm not issuing the assignment. This is not completed. Whatever I edited is not completed. So I'm going to save this for now. Whenever I have time, I'm going to come back and continue this. So that is what we call save. Schedule mean the given on the given day, this will be issued automatically to you, students. If I click on schedule on this mentioned day at time, the assignment will be issued for the students automatically without lecturers involved, right? So and this will be changed if I'm planning to issue it right now. So see here, if I go inside this, sorry, if I go and click on edit, and if I remove this, right, if I click on done, the schedule will change into assign, so that I can assign it now. So now if I click now onwards, you can start working with the assignment, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll assign it now, and those who had concern, Imaz, you're going to try uploading some different files and see, right?
Yeah, we'll see, sir.
Yeah, we'll give a try, right? So you're going to upload a document file and PDF and PPTX and RAR and zip, and let me know whether these files are capable. I mean, these files accepted. Okay, I'm going to click on this assign. So those who there in my channel, those who they are in my teams will be receiving an email. We will be receiving an email saying that uh, an assignment is published. And it will take some time and it will be here. If I correctly selected, I guess I have selected it in the correct way. It's not published somewhere here, right? Let me go and check quickly if the assignment that I published is in the correct place. I can go and edit it anytime. Yes, I have set it at Microsoft Office and I update it. And already it started showing me the status. Already it is loading. That is why you can't see anything in the channel, but it will be there as well. Right. So it says still we are distributing your assignment. Right. So still the distribution in progress. So once it is done, you can see that here. Right. And this will be a notification will be sent for all the students to their email inbox. Right. So mail box, the notification will be sent by mentioning the title of the assignment that you allocated. So no students can say I have no idea about the assignment that you released, right? So that is all about assignment scheduling and submission and tracking and other stuff. Anything else? Anything else that we have to clarify? Himaz, anything else to be discussed? Or
No, sir, everything clear. Yeah, I'm good.
everything is clear? Okay.
Yes.
And Mr. Pradeep, I'll get you the one that you requested soon.
Okay, right. Sure.
Okay. And others, can we wind up for the day then?
Okay, sir.
Can, okay, great. And the next session day and the timetable will be circulated to your official WhatsApp group, and no sessions will be there in this week, right? So in this week, no sessions will be there. Again, we're going to have it from next week, right? So within this week, your account issues will be sorted out. All the account issues will be sorted out, and the official timetable will be issued to you to a WhatsApp group, official group. This is for IT and English program access, right? So not for teacher training. For teacher training program, Miss Kasturi will coordinate and Mr. Pradeep will coordinate with you all regarding the official timetable and other matters. The access program students, your timetable and the account issues and the lecturers and the module list, everything will be circulated to official group, and will start learning it, learning the original session from next week. And I need all of you, right, everyone in the class to join online, right? So it's not mean by if you joined online, I will not be repeating after starting the physical session, right? So it is kind of extra knowledge, right? I need you all to join to the sessions that I'm going to conduct from next week, right? From next week, virtually or physically, that also will be informed based on the restrictions that the government going to impose, right? So we'll pray that the country situation, if that is smooth, we can go for physical, right? So even if it is online, I need all of you to be there like you came today, right? And Imaz can leave the team, and you are responsible to bring all of them to the session. Good.
Okay, sir. So I have
Yes.
a question, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
How can I?
can you mention about the assignments in the WhatsApp group? Then it will be useful.
Okay. So if I releasing an assignments, you want me to remind you in the WhatsApp group as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I'll do.
Because mostly we
Yes.
don't check emails and stuff. That's it.
Yeah, but slowly you build that habit of checking your email. But it just we started. So I'll inform you even in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Welcome. And others, any queries? And I have never heard any others talking. So we're sharing the video on WhatsApp. And the video, okay, so let me show you that as well. After completing today's session, see here the assignment is already published. So after completing today's session, where can you find this recorded video? It's, if you want to find it, you're going to come here to the same channel. Those who are there, those who from 289 batch, they can access it from here. For others, I'm going to download this and upload it to somewhere else, and I'm going to generate a link and I'll share you to the teacher training group. Right, so I'll arrange you the link separately. So those who from 289, they can come and click here in the chat, right? So you can see what people said during the session, right? And if you scroll down, you will see a place where it's mentioned as recording started, and after we completing the session, the recording will be available here, right? The recording will be available here. You can't play it, you have to download it if you want to play, right? So recording will stay here in the chat box for 20 days. So after 20 days you can't download or you can't do anything, right? So if you need the recording to be in your PC permanently, right, you have to download and you have to keep it, right? And even though it is 2 hours session, right, video size will be compressed, right? And it will go around 300 400 MB as I can remember. The 2 hours session will consume 300 to 400 MB, right? So if you really need the download and the recorded video, you have to download and keep it in your PC, right? And for teacher training students, I don't think you can come and access here since you are not a member of this teams. So I will be downloading it and I'll upload it to the public host somewhere, right? And I'll generate a link and I'll circulate to Kasturi or directly to our official WhatsApp group. Is that good?
Okay, sir.
Great. Okay, then
Yeah, sure.
see you all. Thank you for joining and uh, keep things updated in the group. If you have any queries, you're going to reach me through that group, or you can even call me, right? Directly, you have my number in the group. You can call me if you got any queries, or else you can contact your counselor or Miss Divya, that she will help you, right? So since we doing things virtually, we need this
Thank you, sir.
communication to be strong, right? So you have to reach us if you got anything, right? Okay, then see you
Thank
all,
you,
and
sir.
yeah. See you, Mr.
Okay,
Pradeep,
sir.
and we'll meet again.
Okay, sure. So you take care. Stay safe.
Okay, see you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, see you all.
Okay,
Bye.
sir.
See you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
Have a
sir.
nice day.
Okay, okay, Mas.
Thank
Okay.